This is my kitty, one of my kitties. His name is Buffalo. There's another black cat that we have. His name is Tacoma. So I decided to make a video because this week there's a few things I want to show you, some tools that you have available to you, that it's kind of hard to talk through it without me showing you a video of what I have on my computer screen. So first of all, your assignment for this week, for whether you're in STEAM or art or music, your assignment is to start creating your presentation for your breakout project. You're going to make 4 slides or 4 blocks today or this week. You decide if you want to use PowerPoint or Sway for your presentation, and really you're going to focus on the way that you display data. So you're going to choose 3 pieces of data, statistics, numbers that support your claim, and you're going to try to display them in an interesting, engaging, persuasive way. So when you open the assignment for this week, it's called Powerful Persuasive Data, and a few things that are on here. I don't know why it changes the order on me, but the first thing you'll want to look at are the instructions, Powerful Persuasive Data instructions. You'll also want to take a look at the rubric. Those 2 things will really show you exactly what you need to do on each slide or block. The rubric is also here, it's just in 2 different places. And then there are some examples. So there's a PowerPoint example and a Sway example that Ms. Bronkema and Ms. Cully and I created. So first I'll show you the PowerPoint, and I opened it up and I'm just going to click Edit Presentation, Edit in Browser, so you can see a couple things. So this week we're asking you to create a title slide. Okay, so here's our title slide. A lot of color contrast, very strong photo, persuasive photo. One thing you should be aware of in PowerPoint, we're going to ask you to use the notes if you're using PowerPoint to include some additional information. So at the bottom of PowerPoint, this little button, if you click it, it'll open up this section where you can type notes. If someone is viewing the presentation, like if you're playing the presentation for an audience, they won't see the notes. Those are sort of for you. When you submit your presentation in whatever way you decide to submit it, whoever you share this PowerPoint with, they will be able to see the notes, but it's not something you would show if you were presenting it. So we've got some statistics here. In 1 hour, 8 students are bullied. So here's your little 8 students. In 1 school day, 56 students are bullied. This is nationwide in the US. There's your 56 students. So a nice, strong visual example. In the notes section, we put the source, where the information came from, with the date of that source. Make sure that you do that. Put the source in your notes. And then I also just put a little note, statistics are from the entire US. Following this math, it would take less than 8 school days for every student attending NVMS to be bullied. Okay, so in 8 school days in the US, the number of students that attend your school, our school, get bullied. Okay, so there's our first statistic. We used 2 slides to show it. Here's our next statistic. Okay, between 1/3 and 1/4 of all middle school and high school students report being bullied. So we have a picture of 12 hands, and then we circled this big red circle. We circled 1/4 of those hands. Nope, that's not true. We circled 1/3 of those hands, 4 of them, 4 out of 12. And then the next piece of that statistic is, of those, nearly 1/4 of 10th graders reported having made a suicide attempt in the last 12 months. So here's this 1/3 that report being bullied, and then we circled 1/4 of that 1/3, so that one person would have made a suicide attempt if we narrowed this down to 12. Okay. Again, the source is here in the notes, and then just a little explanation of the data. This explanation is something that you would say out loud if you were giving the presentation. Okay, and the last one is about absenteeism. In the United States, 160,000 kids refuse to go to school each day for fear of being bullied. Okay, so it's like, so what? Who cares about that statistic? And also, why are there baseball diamonds on the screen? Well, the source is down here, and then this is how I would describe it if I were giving the presentation. Safeco Field holds about 50,000 people. So here's Safeco Field. This means roughly 3 Safeco Fields worth of students refuse to go to school each day for fear of being bullied in the United States. So the quantity of people that would fill 3 Safeco Fields. That's why there are 3 of them. Okay, so that's the idea. That's what you need to do this week. You're going to pick 3 pieces of data. make a nice visual slide that has some sort of like metaphor or visual that makes it really clear what that statistic means, why that statistic is important. I also want to show you the sway real fast. Well, you know, sort of fast. The sway is a link. So you click the link and hopefully, there it is. If you haven't played around with sway yet, it might be best at this point if you just use PowerPoint for your breakout presentation. If you want to try sway, go for it. It's really cool, but it does take some getting used to. It's different from PowerPoint. So it has blocks. When you open it up, it's going to look like this. If you want to watch our exemplar, actually see the presentation, you click play. Okay, and you can scroll through it. You can make it autoplay, but I'm going to scroll through it. So here's the title block, Impacts of Bullying, the same picture, and then bullying and suicide. And I've got these same statistics that I showed you in the PowerPoint. So if you click on these, they move. So the same statistics, the same hands. You know, 4 would report being bullied, and of those 4, 1 would report that they've attempted suicide. My source for these is linked right here. Okay, so you do that in the screen. You link your source, and then you keep going. Oh, sorry, you do this. You link your source. You do that in the storyline screen. For those of you who are sort of familiar with sway. Let me scroll down. Extent of bullying, and again, my same statistics. Okay, the source is here. And absenteeism, the same statistic about absenteeism, and here's my 3 pictures of Safeco Field, and my source is here, and also my description of what these pictures are about, what they mean. Okay, please let us know if you have questions. We miss you. We hope that you're doing okay, and